And it's now time for our cooking segment, and we have a celebrity guest in the house this morning. We have Miss Samantha Croy. Thank you so much for filling in.
Thank you.
We had an emergency with our chef, and so Samantha was able to fill in for us today. So thank you so much. And today you're actually going to do something that your mom makes at home sometimes for you.
Yes, this is a family recipe. We're going to do 2 different things for school starting. I'm sure sports are going on as well. A really quick sandwich, and it's healthy with some pasta as well. And it has been passed down through generations, so I'm a little biased. It's pretty good, a nice recipe. So,
all right, what are we going to start off with first?
Starting off, we're going to put in a pan. It's actually really simple.
So we're making tomatoes and macaroni.
Yes. We're going to start off with that first. Pretty much you just put a little butter in a pan, and I already have the ingredients here. You're going to chop up finely green peppers, onions, and celery. So we'll go ahead and just toss it in. Yeah, thank you. I need some of that. Pretend like we have the sizzle going on.
Right. So, and then you're going to saute this in the pan?
Yes, just with the butter, and that's the nice thing. You don't need the oil.
Okay.
So you just pretty much will mix it around quite a bit. Here we go, like that.
Okay.
And Troy, you're doing a great job with the noise there.
I'll hold off. It's all about you.
And then you pretty much just, until you think it's ready, there's really no set time, about 15 to 20 minutes maybe, if we were to gauge it. So I'll just set that over here. And then the second part, we're going to take the whole peeled tomatoes. So you'll just get this in the can, and depending on how many people you're serving, you just need 1. It'll come in there with some juice as well, so that will kind of make it a little bit more.
Because I was asking you if this was a sauce-based pasta, and you said that it's from the sauce that we make is from this actual can of whole tomatoes, right?
And now with all the vegetables and the butter as well, that's going to add a little flavor to it.
Am I tossing it in here?
Yeah, we'll go ahead, and the nice thing with this, we're going to keep the whole tomatoes out.
Oh, so you just want the sauce.
Yeah, so if you just kind of leave this on here, a little trick. So we'll just pour this in here. The sauce is good. If you want to add a tiny bit of water just to add to it a little bit, you can.
Okay.
And so pretty much you just leave the whole tomatoes in there.
'Cause we'll add that in later?
Nope, we're going to add them in right away. You just kind of pull them out if you want to go ahead.
And you want to chop them up?
Yeah, you just dice them up a little bit into smaller pieces so that there's more to go around with the pasta.
Okay.
And then you can toss those in there.
All right.
And then we'll start on the flatbread, okay? So we have fresh mozzarella, which you can just get in a packaging, and a tomato here as well. And we got garlic flatbread. It'll add a little bit more flavor to it.
Nice.
So we'll take this.
Does it matter what type of tomatoes you use?
No, nope. I usually go, because we're going to try and keep them together, you don't want a soft tomato. You want something that has a little bit more texture and a little bit harder to it.
All right.
And of course, this is my favorite, basil and pesto. Ella, I put this on everything. So if you want to go ahead and lather it on there, just every little corner of it.
Lather is my middle name.
Yeah. So then I will go ahead and take the mozzarella. It comes in relatively small slices to begin with, but I usually just kind of cut into it a little bit as well. So I'll just kind of dice it up and put it in half. That way the flatbread's pretty small, especially for kids. You can kind of...
This smells wonderful.
Yes.
And if you don't want to use flatbread, I know some people like sandwiches, so you can say that sometimes your mom makes paninis as well.
Paninis, yes.
Okay.
So, and then you just toast it up a little bit as well. But then we'll go ahead and we'll take the tomato. We'll just kind of place it on top here. And pretty much you can add as much or as little as you want depending on your preference of tomatoes and mozzarella. I love cheese. So we'll just add that on as well.
That looks amazing. And then you're just going to go ahead and pop it in the oven?
Yeah, it just goes right in the oven.
For how long?
I'd say, 20 minutes or so, until the edges are a little bit crisp and the cheese melts just a tiny bit.
All right.
So that pretty much is it for the flatbread. But if we go back to
really quickly
the sauces and our veggies, so
I did cut up all the...
That's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll do that later.
Okay.
So this we're gonna pretend is done. We'll put this in here.
And then you want them all to cook together.
Yes. Then we're gonna just kind of mix it up a little bit.
There we go.
Yep.
All right, and then you're gonna let that cook for a little bit longer, let it saute?
You just let it together. You add a dash of salt and pepper, of course, for, anything there to taste.
And meanwhile, we don't have it on right now, but we're also, cooking the pasta.
Yes, and you
I know.
boil the
Thanks.
pasta with the sugar. You can't forget that, so the tomatoes aren't as bitter.
All right, perfect. And if you just are joining us right now, we are in the kitchen, our makeshift kitchen at the KTVO studios, and you're looking at a tomato and macaroni pasta, as well as a fresh tomato and basil and mozzarella cheese little pita bread pizza, courtesy of our very own Samantha Croy. This is a family recipe. And really quickly, just go ahead and recap the ingredients when it comes to the pasta.
All right, so for the pasta, you just boil that like normal, but then we'll add vegetables as far as the onions, the celery, and the green peppers go. You're gonna wanna dice them up pretty small so that you don't have too big of chunks. Now, we'll use whole tomatoes in with the can. It comes with juice, so it adds a little bit of flavor to it as well. And you don't wanna forget the sugar. I know we touched on that a little bit, but that kind of helps make the tomatoes not so bitter in the pasta. You just mix it together, add a little salt and pepper to taste, and that's pretty much ready to go. And the flatbread is just as easy. You can use any type of bread that you'd like. We went with garlic flatbread just to add another, hint of flavor to it. We'll add the pesto and the basil together. It's just the sauce. It heats up nicely. And the mozzarella cheese is fresh out of the package and just a regular tomato.
Well, it smells
Excellent.
delicious. So what we'll do is we'll post everything on our website at heartlandconnection.com. Just click on the Good Morning Heartland tab at the top of the homepage. Are you ready to try this?
Let's dig in.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it how the regular chefs do it. I'll eat mine after.
This is really good.
Yeah? Is it warm enough?
It is. And I was afraid that because there isn't really a sauce base to it, but it's perfect. So
Yeah, there's
Good
enough to
stuff.
go around.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you right back here Monday morning at 5:30 a.m.